We're going to take a look at Chevron here. That is ticker symbol CVX. We're looking into those all-time highs once more. You can see that basically we're focusing on that high that came in this week of 187.90. And we're currently trading at 185 right now, and all our focus is towards that. So we're going to see what happens tomorrow as we have one more trading session, and we're going to see where this candle closes. We're kind of right on this brink of this overall structure in here. You can see we're up against that resistance. Our RSI is super high. We have about 6 green candles here in a row. I know this one's a doji, but still, we're still counting it as a green. And we're going to see what kind of consolidation is going to happen next, right? So you can see a nice little push here, nice push here, another push last week. And then this week, you had a long lower wick, a long upper wick, trying to figure out what's going on here, trying to find some sort of breath, right? So you need to kind of take a breather. You want to get super overextended up here near these all-time highs. So we're currently trading at 185 right now, a little pullback towards the end of the day in here. So let's see what happens tomorrow. To the upside, obviously, we're looking at 187.90 above there. Nice whole numbers, 190, 195, working our way up to this $200 range. On the downside in here, we're going to watch that 182.59. Then we're looking at 177.30. And then we're going to be looking right around this 172 range. That's where our 9-day EMA is kind of matching up as well. So if we get a little bit of a pullback in here, if we're not stick saved by this lower trend line right here, we're going to be looking at this 9-day EMA as some overall good footing for us. As far as expected moves and our implied volatility goes in Chevron, we are going to be looking at right around an IB rank of $24.50 expected move priced in by tomorrow. That's one trading session away. Next Friday, $5. March monthlies, right around a $10 expected move. So let's see what happens in here in Chevron as we have one more trading day to go. We're also going to take a look at Tilray while we're in here. Basically flat on the day, up around 31 cents. Overall on the week, though, nice little green weekend here. So we are going to be looking towards this 50-day SMA. I'm sorry, the 9-day EMA and this 50-day SMA right here, right? They're kind of matching up in sort of that same area. It's basically, we're going to chalk it up to say 8.5. So 850, that whole area right here, that's going to be a big place for us to kind of breach and hold, because you can see, look at all the weight that 9-day EMA has held. And then once we got below that 50-day SMA 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago, have not been able to come up and breach it. You can see right here, last week we tried to, but obviously we failed. So that's going to be our first area of resistance in here long term. Above there, you're looking at that 950. To the downside in here, we are going to be looking at this lower trend line right here. That's going to be that 718, really. You chalk it up to kind of $7 range. Anything below there, you're looking at about 6.5 to about 680. And then there's nothing really to save us until you get to at least $5 handles. So that's what we're looking at here on the downside. To the upside, again, it's all going to be about these two moving averages right here and how much weight they are going to hold. Now, as far as our implied volatility goes for Tilray, it's relatively low compared to itself. IB ranking here of 17, 28-cent expected move priced in by tomorrow. So basically the move you had today, that's kind of what everybody's pricing in for tomorrow. Next week, about 80 cents, go all the way out to March monthly, right around a $1.30 expected move. So let's see what happens in these two stocks. Basically kind of two of the exact opposite movements we got here overall long term this year, but we're going to see what kind of consolidation we get from Chevron, what kind of breather we are going to be taking, and then how soon and when we are going to be doing that. And then Tilray, we're going to see if we can get a little bit of a pop in here on some decent volume and a nice breach and hold of these two moving averages. So let's see what happens in here as we end the week, and then we go into the end of the month. Okay, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you're interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.